One other thing that I'm curious about is, have you guys ever found any odd tracks up here?
So you're talking about people tracks up here?
So I found, like, when I was doing a grid at the, not far from that parking lot actually, or the turnaround, some tracks about this long and about this wide, and they had a toe going off this side, and then one was about this long.
Wow.
They were that deep.
I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah. And you've been up here a lot.
16 years I've hunted here.
Yeah. And the other thing that I think is just elk is there was like a open spot about this big around where something had swept there a lot, and then there were like other little ones around that.
Yep. So that's a typical elk bed with calves around it, or smaller elk around it.
And that's, I was wondering about that, but I didn't see any elk droppings or prints at all.
They won't in their beds.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. And then the other thing is
that's typically in either really low brush or the meadows.
Yeah.
And they're typically doing that at night. They'll lay down for a while and rest.
And then there were scrapes on the tree, but not up and down. They were like sideways like that. What would that be? And about this side.
Well, the bears will rip bark off the trees. You'll see that, but that's usually
in the spring. Yeah,
that's usually vertical as well.
But both the deer and the bull elk will scrape, both when in the early spring when they're scraping the velvet off their horns, and when they go into rut, they'll scrape and they'll make a lot of noise and try to attract the cows. So
yeah, I'm not a believer, but in the Sasquatch stuff or whatever. But I was looking at it, and it was, when I came back, it was like it looks like an ape print. That's what it looks like, but it's bigger. And but I'm like, how would that get there? And my foot couldn't make that deep of a print, and it was wet. So I was like, what's?
Yeah, we hunted for years up here in the snow. And
never saw anything like that.
In the snow, you can see tracks with just about everything, and then weather like this in the mud, and I've certainly never seen anything like that. And we pay pretty close attention to the tracks. That's part of what we use for hunting is keeping track of where the animals are, where they're going, and we see a lot of deer, elk tracks, bear, cats sometimes, but never seen anything like that.
Yeah, me either.
I'm headed into kind of a different area than I was expecting to after talking with those hunters. I did want to go directly up to the cliffs, but I had the same concerns that they mentioned, that there's these stair-step cliffs and just going up a really steep rock scree. And really, I think one of the prime locations to search is that area I showed on one of the last videos where you just come up to the trail goes right up to the edge of a cliff. I just want to say thanks to all my friends that didn't come with me. I think the best excuse was Trevor saying I'm going to be in Northern Cal hanging out. So thanks a lot while I'm facing the bears and the cougars and the forest apes. So why do I think people disappear in the forest? Aliens. Alien abduction. No, that's not true, but that's just a little Easter egg there for Brown Dwarf, who's been commenting on a lot of my videos. But I think there's natural explanations for all of these things that are going on, and it's a matter of trying to be as smart as you can when you're out there. And sometimes just accidents happen.